Who got roasted? Me, because I freaking burnt I burnt myself. Okay, so I have some tea today because I will be spilling it. Today, I will be roasting my most disappointing reads of 2023. I could not narrow it down to just 10 because I was offended this year. We will be going on Goodreads and I'm just gonna do my thing and you guys can listen. We're gonna start off with the most traumatizing manga I have ever read in my life. It's considered a romance manga, LGBT. The main girl is a lesbian and the love interest is a bisexual woman who is denying that she's bi and she's married to a man. Okay, nothing wrong with being bisexual and being married to a man. Nothing wrong. This was the most offensive manga that I have ever read in my life. It was traumatizing. There was abuse. There was gaslighting. There was manipulation. The girl who was... Oh my god, my lips are dusty, busted, and crusty. The main character was gaslit by this girl and manipulated by this girl into thinking that she wanted to be with her. The married girl was just stringing the main girl along like, oh, hey, I want to be with you, but oh, wait, I'm actually not going to break up with my abusive husband. And this was supposed to be a romance. There's so many 5-star ratings. This book has 4.11 stars on Goodreads. Literally, how I rated that 2 stars. Though I think the only book that I have ever rated 1 star was The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Up next, A Court of Frost and Starlight. I don't have anything to say to you except for why were you born? Then the next one is called Next Year in Havana. Okay, I went into the story loving it. I was like, okay, period. The grandmother passes away and the granddaughter returns to Cuba to spread the grandmother's ashes, and she learns about the grandmother's past. Okay, that sounds like a beautiful story that I wanted to love, and I was actually loving it. And then Miss Girl meets a man, and then they talk about like the history of the mom and then some other man, and then this story just becomes about a man. Like, I went into this for family secrets, family past, and all of that, and a heartwarming story to make me cry. The only tears I were crying were tears of boredom. Next. Oh my god. Next. Listen, me, a sapphic lesbian woman, I don't want to constantly drag LGBT books because we don't get a lot of representation in media. It's much better than it used to be. However, this book infuriated me. Sorry, bro. I'm sorry that I read this, bro. This is another one. What is it with these queer stories and constantly having one person gaslighting the other person and then them ending up together and then everything being okay? Okay, first of all, let me tell you what I love. I love the culture. I love how they talked about the different food from the culture and everything. That was absolutely beautiful, and that's what I love to hear, listen about, learn about different cultures, hear about them, especially about different food. Okay, hello. No, absolutely not. This girl was engaged to be wed, but she didn't actually say yes or no, and she did not break up with her boyfriend. He went on a trip, and then she started talking about, oh, let me like explore or whatever, and not tell him. And then she started seeing this girl, I think her name is Erebuni. She was great. She was perfect. She was giving witchy. She was giving like stereotypical like witch lesbian on TikTok. To me, that's what she was giving, and I love that. So I'm not like roasting her or anything, but the main character was just treating her like trash, like as an experiment, basically. And then the main character didn't even break up with her boyfriend. What is she doing? Why are queer people represented like this in media? Like, it really freaking frustrates me. And like, there's nothing romantic about that. I didn't want them to be together, and I didn't want the main character to be redeemed. She barely even got like a slap on the wrist. Everyone was like, oh, this is wrong, and maybe don't do that. Like, but it's okay. We forgive you. what? No lessons were learned, no character development, and she still, spoiler alert, and she still got with the person that she wanted to be with. I read that 2 stars. I think it says 3 stars on Goodreads, but absolutely not. I remember thinking 2 stars, but I read this for a book club and I didn't want to be rude. The next book that I hate. Well, a lot of people have this opinion, and it's no offense, because congratulations to you, Miss Girl, for starting on Wattpad and just getting your coin and getting it out there. And like, this book, Twisted Love, my sister told me to read it. My sister felt the same way about this book. Twisted Love, I felt like my brain cells were twisted after reading this book. Alex, the love interest, he was manipulative, he was a stalker, and he was ugly. I don't know if he was ugly, but his personality was ugly. Let me tell you this one part that really freaking frustrated me, pissed me off, okay? The main character, Ava, is 22 years old. A grown-ass adult, legal drinking age in the U.S. of America. She can do what she wants. She can do a lot of things with her life. She can enlist in the military. She can smoke cigarettes. Whatever. Basically, she's legal. She's an adult, whatever. As Ava's brother tells his best friend, Alex, yo, I'm going away doing some stuff. Can you watch Ava for me? She doesn't need to be watched. She's an adult, whatever. So the scene where I was like, okay, this is not for me at all. So, like I said, this woman is grown. She goes to take a spicy photo shoot. Okay, period, slay, girl. Like, feel your fantasy or whatever. Okay, so she goes to take a spicy photo shoot. And then it was at someone's house. So the Alex dude pulls up to the house and he is furious. He's banging on the door and he's like, where is she? Where's Ava? And then a lady of the house is like, oh, Ava's upstairs with unnamed man or whatever his name is, whatever. She's upstairs. And who cares? And then so he goes upstairs, he like breaks down the door, and then he sees she's in a spicy photo shoot, and then he's just like acting so disgusting. He's like, you better leave or I'm gonna end you. Like, I rated that book 2 stars as well. Next one, this book really made me want to cry. It's A Touch of Gin. It made me freaking want to cry, scream of frustration. So this book starts off perfectly. The couple is obsessed with this girl named Jen, who was the guy's old co-worker, and the girlfriend and the guy get obsessed with Jen, and they end up getting back in touch with her or whatever, and they're like constantly talking about Jen. They're so obsessed with her. They like role play about her and stuff, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's icky and that's gross, and like, I don't want to know that, but it was written so much as in a way as to, I was interested, I was seated, I was literally listening to the audiobook. I wanted so much more from this book than what we got. It like in the like almost directly 50%, I think it was 53%, something happens and then the story takes a completely different direction. And from what I remember, the only thing leading up to this story was like one teensy bit of foreshadowing that could have literally been anything else. But I had to rate that 3 stars because the first half of this book was so good. It was 5 stars. And the second half was literally 1 star. What are you doing? And I didn't hate the end. I hated it for this book. And then the next book I'm going to roast, 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl by my mother, Mona Wad. She literally gave birth to me. Like, if you think I'm lying, I'm not. I'm sorry, this book made me so uncomfortable. It's like, I don't understand why this was written, but also that's probably my own like underlying issues. I wanted to love Priory of the Orange Tree so badly. It was in my fantasy era. Dragons, sapphics, fighting, okay, a bloodline. So these tropes that I am interested in, and Yes, there is badassery. There's not enough for me to like this book. And there was barely any sapphic interaction. Okay, it was very little. It was very little, and I wish someone would have told me that there was barely any. This book was like 800 pages, and I needed more. And there were dragons in it. A lot of people say that there was barely dragons in it. My expectation was like not that much, but there was like a little bit amount of dragons. Like, I don't know even how to explain what I'm trying to say. Up next, I'm going to have to shout out normal people, aka boring people. I was going into this thinking that this was going to be about the void, and it was just gonna give me more than what it was. Okay, don't get me wrong. Please don't think I'm roasting you if you love this book. Please don't think I'm roasting you if you love any of these books. This is clearly like my own opinion. I thought that the quotes in this book was so quotable. It had lovely writing. I thought the writing was good. The fact that Sally Rooney does not use quotation marks, I don't care. It was easy to follow along once I got the hang of it. I thought it was going to be about this girl losing her mind, okay? And it kind of was not even a little bit close to that. I was waiting for something to happen, and nothing really ever does. His and hers, more like whose and whose, because I don't remember this book at all. Mr. Magic, because I was going into this expecting more of like, okay, so this is the mystery behind what happened to us when we were kids. And I did not get what, like, as much as I wanted. I know some of you guys out there really loved this book, and the premise was everything. The premise was everything. I kind of don't know if I should have read it. Up next is Leave the World Behind, which I just watched this movie and I had to get it explained to me. I was very confused. I was like going into it, I was not really expecting much. I wanted there to be more of an explanation behind what was happening and why it was happening. And pretty much all we get is the who it was happening to. And I didn't care for those characters, but the movie was better at explaining what was actually going on. Yeah, and me personally, I didn't understand this book. That missed me, so I didn't like it. I have to mention Plain Bad Heroines. I talk about this in my November wrap-up. If you guys want to check that out, you can go ahead and do that. Yeah, no, it was like, apparently it took the author 8 years to write this book. Queen, I don't think that the book ever got out of your head, because I was so confused as to what and to why and for how and all of that. There was so much build up. Nothing really happened. We barely got to see what the heck was going on. I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. This is one of my favorite authors. It's going to be Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. And listen, I know a lot of you guys like Rachel Harrison. I like Rachel Harrison. She's one of my favorite authors. The main character was awful. Not awful in a good way. Like, why are you jealous of your bestie boo cousin? I don't want to say too much because I know a lot of you guys have not read this book, and I don't want to sway your opinion or spoil it. But I just want to say, like, why are you jealous? Why are you jealous? There's no need to be jealous of your best friend. I hate that so much. The last book I am going to drag is Telling Lies Online. This book was borderline 1 star. I talked about this book in my September wrap-up. You guys should go ahead and check that out, because I ranted about that book for like 10 minutes, but I had to cut it for the video. This was also a sapphic book that really pissed me off. So the main character, Jay, has an online dating profile, okay? Like, let's say like a Tinder type of situation. And she has been talking to this girl named Claire for a few months, and then come to find out the dating website was all messed up. So a whole bunch of people's distance was messed up, a whole bunch of people's gender was messed up. Claire was under the impression that Jay was a man. Instead of just coming right out and saying, hey, yo, Claire, does it bother you that I am actually a woman? So Jay found out that Claire thought that she was a man because in her bio it says woman interested in men. Okay, slay. Like, okay, straight woman, go off. Jay just completely didn't even say like, oh, hey, by the way, I am a woman. And that's what she identifies with. Okay, this premise is problematic in itself. Why did I finish this book? That's a good question. That is a good question. I'm just going to spoil this whole entire book for you because it pissed me off and you guys shouldn't read it. And no offense to Miranda McCloy. And if you're watching, please look away, ma'am. So, Claire was basically like, hey, I have a business opportunity meeting in your town and I'm going to come and try to see you, whatever. Then Claire shows up at Jay's job looking for Jay, and then Jay is like introducing herself and she's like, oh, I'm Jamie, Jay's best friend. First of all, girl, how you didn't know that was her? You literally have pictures of her. The story was like, they're bad pictures. Okay, but I'm not fooled. Jay, Jamie, something's not adding up. Like, I'm mad. Claire was also weird. She also was like, oh, I know Jay's not in town, but can you bring me by his apartment so I can at least see what it looks like? Why do you need to see that? Whatever. So then she goes and she leaves, and then, oh my God, the biphobia of this book too. Like, why? Why? I don't understand how queer people can be biphobic. It does not make sense to me, like, at all. Like, obviously, I don't get how people, can be that way in general, but like, especially like, this is your own community. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Whatever. So Claire leaves and then coming back to live there because she took the job. Jamie's best friend Paul tried to gaslight Claire into thinking that Jay was out of town too. Like, you guys are terrible people. Why are you trying to gaslight this girl? All you had to do was tell her the truth. Okay. She was just gaslighting her the whole time, talking about some, oh, why don't you believe me? What, like this and that. And like, that's icky to me. And then there's also like, as for the first one, and sorry, bro, like, there was also no repercussion. Girl, like, Claire deserves better, even though Claire was a weirdo, That was the roast. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I am mad. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for watching my roast. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave the fire emoji, obviously, if you've made it this far, because what other emoji would you leave for a roast? Thank you for watching. If you guys liked any of these books, don't let my opinion tell you that your taste is trash, because you probably have good taste. I don't know. And obviously these books are books for a reason and are on Goodreads for a reason and are being rated for a reason. People are liking them, and that's okay if you like them. If you like normal people, if that's your favorite book, okay, period, slay, go off, tell me what I am missing. The only book I would not believe you on is Telling Lies Online, and I need to go drink some water. If you're watching this, I hope you drank water today. It's giving 3D. Anyways, I will see you guys soon. I hope next time you curl your hair, you don't burn your forehead like I did. Bye!